Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out RV Daydream. Is the honeymoon already over? Maybe. Let's talk about that.
Have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
So what do I mean? Is the honeymoon already over? Well, if you guys don't know that phrase or you've not really applied it to anything, basically whenever you first get married, obviously everything's exciting and new. But then when the honeymoon's over, the excitement of, being married and all that stuff may set in and be a little bit disappointing to some. So that phrase is applied to a lot of things. So obviously, what's the newest thing that we have that could be considered the honeymoon? Well, our RV, our new Rockwood RV. And yeah, I think that there might already be a slight letdown, but nothing crazy. And I anticipated this and have talked about it in the past. Right now, as it stands, I am editing a video that's going to be a complete walkthrough, a complete look around, a complete discussion in full detail about the RV from front to rear, so other people that might be interested in that model get an idea of where we were coming from to buy it. However, this video will most likely go up before that one, and yeah, let's just get into it. Of course, we got a gloomy day here in Ohio, and it's very windy. We got rain coming in. Not crazy wind, but pretty windy. You can see I still have got the old RV currently for sale. I've never seen so much interest in something. We posted that video about this RV being for sale on YouTube 10 days ago, and we've already got over 50,000 views on it and over 1,000 likes. And boy, we've been contacted by a ton of people. But yeah, it's still here. It's still here. Got to clean this up because we got so many people that's been walking through it. It's starting to get a little bit dirty here. But yeah, eventually this will go somewhere else. This refrigerator kind of ties into this whole story, and this is one of the reasons that I'm out here. Now, if you guys don't remember, this refrigerator came from basically a RV dealer, and it was sent to them by Norcold, and it was to replace a unit that I had that was defective. The unit that I had that I bought for this RV to be installed actually had a defective gas valve, and they had a recall on it. And when I called the dealer up, they said, we're going to need the old RV refrig. And I said, that's fine. I got it in the back of my truck. I took it down to the dealer, and the dealer at that point tried to order a gas valve. They didn't have a gas valve kit. So Norcold graciously said, hey, instead of making your customer wait, we're going to give you a whole new refrigerator. However, the whole new refrigerator, because of it having 12-volt electricity and being plugged into the wall, and also having LP gas run to it, would have to be installed by the dealer. Even though I can easily do this work in my sleep, they need it for liability reasons to be installed by a dealer. So let's go ahead and talk about how that's tying in with our new RV. By the way, we still love this RV. Oh, I just love it. Every time we walk in it, it's just so nice. But we do have a problem, so let's go ahead and talk about that problem. You ever hear, people say, "Ooh, that new car smell. Ooh, that new RV smell." It's actually pretty decent. You can see we have our little Pelonis heater in here, a little furnace, and this thing does a great job. It was 44 degrees in here yesterday, and I fired this up, put it on its lowest setting pretty much. You can see the knobs there. I had it set on low, and I had that pointed in the direction that it currently is, and this thing heated up to 75 degrees in just a short time. Now the bedroom was a little bit cooler than the rest of the RV, but it was amazing. It just tells me it's insulated well. But why would I run that little furnace when we have, a furnace, right there underneath the stove? We got a problem with the furnace, and let me go ahead and show you that video and what's going on. Yeah, this thing's getting really, really loud. I mean, real loud. So the only thing that could generate that much noise has got to be a rotating mass. A rotating mass that's hitting something. Because there's nothing else that can get that loud. I mean, that's hammering. That's really loud. So yeah, you see what's happening there. We've got an issue with what I could tell as the blower motor. Either the exhaust blower motor or the main blower that blows the heat into the RV. And the problem that you may run into, which I discussed on a previous video, is new RV warranties and some of the issues that you may have just collecting on the warranty. I guess you could say collecting or trying to use the warranty. Now in my case, our dealer, Ruff's RV, so far really good. I haven't had any issues with them. Everything seems to be above board and on the level, and we've been really happy with them. I would recommend them. I definitely recommend them for anybody that might be looking for an RV. We went ahead and contacted Rockwood directly and asked them about the furnace, and I submitted a private link to a video and said, listen, we got it home within just basically 5 hours of owning the thing, and we turned on the furnace, and yeah, it made that noise. The customer service rep, within probably an hour and a half of being contacted, said that they would definitely warranty this, that I need to contact the dealer and make arrangements for it to be taken care of. All right, so now you can see where I'm going with this. We're about an hour and a half away from the dealer. So I went ahead and spoke with the dealer direct, the guy in service that works the main counter, not the service manager. But I advised him, hey, I spoke with Rockwood, and they said that this is under warranty. They're going to cover it, and that I need to bring it up there. But I figured that you guys are pretty busy. What should I do? Now, see, what I was hoping for is that I would be able to get another unit shipped to me at the house here, and I would install that unit, test it, make sure it's okay, and then take the defective unit, put it in the packaging that I received the good one in, and then ship it back to wherever. Rockwood, the manufacturer, it doesn't make a difference. Even the dealer, I don't care. Just so I can avoid, hooking up the RV and towing it all the way up there. I mean, I'm not going on a camping trip. I'm not going in that general direction. I just rather do it that way. However, the Rockwood customer service rep, which I think he's the manager, to believe, if I'm not mistaken, Rockwood and Flagstaff customer service manager. He had said, because of the liability issue, just like the refrigerator that we had on the other one, of the fact that you do have 12-volt power going to it, and you also have LP gas going to it. It's a liability if they don't get it fixed by an authorized dealer, somebody that makes those repairs. Now, I'm going to tell you what I had said back in a previous video whenever we got a refrigerator replaced in that old Terry camper. I'm sure those mechanics in there go through pretty decent training, and I'm sure there's some certifications that they have. And I am sure that there are some repairs that they can do that I have never done myself. However, something as simple as this, I would find it pretty shocking to myself that they would do anything above and beyond greater or better than I could. It's just, it's like saying that they are authorized to plug something into the wall. That's how easy it is for me to take out this furnace and put a new one in. It would be as if somebody who doesn't have any mechanical skills at all are being told, basically, listen, the only way this warranty can work for your toaster is to have an authorized person come to your house and plug it in the wall for you. So I understand, though, again, liability reasons, the toaster could potentially have an issue. It could potentially short out. It could potentially cause a fire. That's why they would want somebody authorized to plug it in the wall for you. I'm sure that this is the only problem, and I've identified what the problem is. This is just from me doing lots of repairs over the years, but this is the process that we have to go through. That's the biggest downfall of having a new RV and warranties, even when you're a repair person like myself. Now, I am sure if I had an issue with something that doesn't have much for liability that's involved, like the table, maybe it doesn't fold the way that it should, maybe a leg, is missing a part on it, I'm sure that Rockwood would have no problem sending me whatever I need or swapping out to whatever I want. But again, for liability reasons, they have to go this route and have the dealer install this. So the dealer, he doesn't stock this furnace in his inventory. So what I would be relinquished to do is make an hour-and-a-half trip up to the RV dealer. I would then drop off the RV. They said that they would give me priority because we just purchased it from them. We just picked it up. Even though they're busy, we would move to the front of the line. They said they would look at it that day. However, at that point, they wouldn't be able to install a new unit because they don't have it in stock, so that would require them to get it from Rockwood. And if Rockwood doesn't have it in their inventory necessarily, it may be even longer. And even though they're in Indiana, it may be a couple days for them to actually be able to ship that out. And then the dealer to receive it, get the RV in and get it fixed, and then we could pick it up. So what that would mean to me is basically driving my truck, towing the RV up to an hour and a half away, dropping it off, then driving it all the way home and hanging out here for the day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, and then being called and told that we can come back up. I have to make time to go back up there again, pick it up, and then tow it home. So we would have an extra trip. I don't know. I think that that's something that I wish they could get around, but again, I understand the liability. I would hope that it would be easier, since I sent a pretty detailed video, that maybe the RV dealer could get, inventory in there awaiting for me to come in, and so they could just swap out the unit. But again, I understand, and that's why I'm doing this video, to let you know, even though you have a brand new RV, you're going to be fixing it. I said that on the video that I posted a few years back about new RVs versus used RVs. And I had actually a comment that the guy said, well, why would I want to buy an old RV? How many repairs am I going to make over the years on that old RV? Well, it's going to be just as many as the new RV because new RVs still have issues. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's not like a new car. And even a new car, you guys know, I bought that brand new 2019 F-250 pickup truck, and within just over 1,500 miles, or just under 1,500 miles, I had a noise that was coming from the front end whenever it was minus 4 degrees outside. So, I had to bring it into the shop. So there's always going to be something that needs to be done. So whenever you're going out thinking, I'm going to just buy a new one and not have to worry about anything, you're going to buy a new one, but there's still going to be issues. I'm going to go ahead and look at this furnace, see if I can make this thing make that noise again.
Okay, so we're definitely back to square one because here the unit is standing on its own, and guess what? It's making that noise. So it is something to do with the unit. What exactly is the hardest thing to find out? But the sound is loud, and there's nothing in this cage, this outer cage, that is causing that. It's something inside the blower wheel. There's can't be anything else but something inside the blower wheel. And I should get my stethoscope, but it sounds as if it's in this area here. So let me go ahead and explore it a little bit more.
Well, you can see I got my glasses off because I had to get up close and personal to this thing. And my eyes aren't as good as they used to be. But I found the problem. Yay! Go figure that out. I finally found the problem. And it is the squirrel cage. Let me show you. It wasn't too difficult to figure out once this was off. This was just 4 screws and a couple other screws for a bracket. And you can see right there, I was inspecting the cage, and yeah, it's broke. So yeah, this part here is snapped. So whenever this is spinning around, of course, it's off center. And it must be clipping something. It must be really close to something. And it's kind of sad because, it's still moving a decent amount of air, and it's still doing a good job. It's just that one break in the cage is causing all that. Now to replace the cage, I don't know. I know it's just one set screw. I mean, all of them are pretty much set up that way. But I don't know what it would take to make enough room for it to come off. I think that might be a little bit of a task. So Yeah, that's sad. That's a shame. Maybe maybe I can figure that out. All right, guys. So of course I didn't give up. I wanted to definitely get this thing fixed. So it wasn't hard to do. You just took off just a few more screws for the exhaust fan half and the motor. It's all mounted. Like I said, not a lot of science involved there. You can see where it's been hitting at right there. I don't know how much this is showing off on camera, but this scuff mark right here is where the fan's been hitting. Whenever it gets the temperature, it starts to expand, and yeah, so that's where it's been hitting. That's where the noise is coming from. There's nothing else wrong with this unit except for this squirrel cage right here. That is it, and it's just this one little spot. You can see right there. So I have some choices. The smart thing to do is to order a squirrel cage, because what it would cost me in gas to go have this warranty work done, it's not worth it if I can buy this for $30 or $40. I would rather do it myself. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll send me a squirrel cage. You know, what's the liability in that? I swear. Okay, so let me dork around with this for a little bit and try to figure this out. What I'm going to do. I know what I could do. I just could, you know, plastic weld this, as long as it's not, you know, too much material on here to cause it to be out of balance or anything. I could do that. I don't know. Maybe I will. All right, guys, so although I could probably buy one of these for $10, which I know I can buy for $10, I kind of like fixing things. You guys know that. So what I've done here is I've supported the surrounding fins, and in conjunction with the fins that have the brake in between them, it's keeping the cage together. I know this is hard to focus here. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and do some plastic welding. Now, normally I would get out my plastic welder and actually, you know, melt some rod in there. However, in this case, I think that I'm going to try to get this to melt with, you know, just a soldering iron. It's something that I've done in the past. We'll see how it turns out, and I'll let you know. All right, so I did break out, and like I said, did the plastic welding. I did put another wire on there in between the brake fins, and it's solid. I mean, I could probably take the wire off and it would be okay, and I might have to. The only reason is because you can see it's rather spindly, this whole cage. Well, I don't want it to be off balance. I don't want too much weight to be over here. I was actually contemplating putting a couple of pieces of wire over here to help balance it out, but we should be okay. It should work itself out on its own. The nice thing is it is spindly, and it's not exacting. I mean, it's you know, not that close to tolerances, but yeah, that's the repair, and let's go ahead and put it in and see how it works out. All right, so it's all back together, and as far as it's spinning when it's cold, doesn't seem like that extra weight that I occurred or caused on that one side of the blower motor made a difference, because when the blower motor kicked on, it's just as smooth as ever. So what we're going to do is run the heat and make it hot in here, which it's only about 68 in here now, and I want to run it until it gets up to about 75, 77 or so in here to see how hot it is. But I think that might have fixed it. I did send an email back to the customer service manager out at Rockwood and asking him if they might be able to send me a squirrel cage, blower, wheel, whatever you want to call it. And you know, I don't know if they will or not, and I'm sure that they're wanting to accommodate me, but you know, I'm being a pain in the butt. I'll be honest, because of what I said. And it's not their fault. This is all me. Just to let you guys know, I have no ill feelings about needing to repair my new RV and doing it the way I want to do it, because this is essentially going to be our home at one point, where we're going to be living in, and I repair all the stuff that's in the house now. You hope that you don't have to repair something new, but you know, sometimes you do. It just happens that way. Again, the furnace works really well. It's strong, it's hot, it warms up the RV relatively quick. As far as it coming through these vents, it does a good job. It is being forced down into the hole that's underneath of it,
Right now it's being forced into the RV because, of course, I have the cover off. But yeah, we'll go ahead and let this go and see what happens. This has been running a little while. You can see now it's 72 degrees. I went ahead and put all the covers back on. The blower is blowing the heat out of the vents. It's kind of a nice gentle heat. In here, it actually comes out from right there. Yep, very nice. And then in here, you know, I don't know. Maybe back here. No, that's right. It's over here. Because I was telling Heidi, oh, you're going to be hot. And, of course, not bad. So, as far as I can tell, it's good. We're all covered there. You know, that plastic weld that I did may fatigue over time. No more than probably the rest of the wheel. However, I do have those extra small wires that are there, those tensile wires that are kind of holding all that together. In addition to, and I could probably have just run those wires and it would have been okay, but I just, like everything else, I like to be overkill.
What should you take out of this? Well, I've got a new RV. I have a warranty, and sometimes those warranties can be an inconvenience, and if you have the ability to repair something, it's probably best just to repair it yourself. So, you know how I am. That's what I did. I repaired it. Now, I still did send a message again to the service manager, customer service manager out at Rockwood, and asked them if it's possible they could send that wheel. Just in case that fails, I have the other one. That's it, guys. I'm done with this video. Hopefully it wasn't too long. And as always, we hope to see you out there.